Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another lovely edition of Friday with Friends. Today's friend, Shireen, Sister Shireen from Tampa and the world. Welcome. Hi, Shireen.
Hello, Craig. Lovely to be here with you.
It's very good to speak with you. I see you a lot, but don't speak with you. So I see you, you don't see me. It's nice.
To see you now.
The title given to today's chat, and what is it? It's a chit chat with friends. And the title given today is Following Your Bliss, the Hero's Journey. Now, when you hear that, sister, what comes up?
I'm thinking of Joseph Campbell, actually.
That's where I got it from. It was part of the beginning of my own spiritual journey, and I followed my bliss to this moment.
Oh, that's great. That's great. For me, Joseph Campbell has always been a particular hero of mine because of his book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, and how it really was the beginning of so many wonderful things in the world, right? His hero's journey and how they used it to really create so many blockbuster movies and everything.
Oh, right. I loved watching his interviews with Bill Moyers that they had on PBS years ago.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that the whole Star Trek thing was based on his writings.
Yes, but Star Trek was, yes, the Star Trek was the beginning, and George Lucas really gave credit to Joseph Campbell and the book. I think it was Chris Vogler or someone who actually wrote the hero's journey steps. There were 27 steps or something. I'm not exactly sure how many steps, but he wrote how to write it for a screenplay. And so George Lucas really gave credit to Joseph Campbell for that. But I feel more than even Star Trek, a more recent one, it's not that recent, but a more recent one that I really feel that really did justice to the hero's journey.
I hear you.
Is Avatar.
And I also think of The Matrix as well as being something of that nature.
Right.
And so what I want to ask you is, you've been on your own journey. What were the circumstances that you found yourself in where you found this spiritual path in particular? Where were you in your life that brought you here?
I just finished my graduate work in civil engineering. And so all my life, I grew up in India, and I had very loving parents and a loving family. But what happened was I was very sheltered, and I wanted to see something of the world. And so it was always a dream of mine to go somewhere to study. And so I picked US because English, I knew English, and I didn't want to pick a country where I didn't know English very well. Anyway, I didn't know the language very well. So I picked the US, and I came here to study, but actually not just to study. I came here to experience a different life. And so all my life, I was waiting for this moment where I would finish my studies. I would be on my own, right? Because I had this big war with my parents to get married before I come here. Because no one they knew, just a single girl at that point, 30 years ago, come alone to the US, right? So they always got married and came. And so there was a war going on. And so I won that war. And I really was looking forward to having a job. And what happened was, I moved to Tampa because of my job. I just got the job. It was a pretty good job in a private consulting firm as an engineer. And I was working, but I feel like all my life I strived for something. And I arrived at that spot And I kept thinking, and then what? It still feels empty, right? Everything still feels empty. And so my mental makeup was such when I found the Brahma Kumaris. And I feel if I could say that the one thing I really cherish that I found is knowing the Supreme Soul and the feeling of contentment, the feeling of fullness, that empty feeling left.
Would you have considered yourself like a high achiever person, an ambitious person?
Yeah, I was a high achiever, ambitious person, but not for the reasons you think, really. I was a high achiever, ambitious because I really wanted a different life. I didn't want to have the same life, everyone around. I have 1 million cousins in India, and pretty much everyone is older than I. And they all had a set pattern, especially the female cousins or the male cousins. They had a set pattern. You get educated, you get married, you have kids, you have 2 kids. And I just didn't see myself doing that. And I didn't want that life. So I think I tried to strive because I didn't want that life.
I could say that right there, from my standpoint, that would be called following your bliss, that you're taking a path that, in the United States, it's okay, a little different, but it's kind of revolutionary in India to even do what you did, to come here alone, unmarried. You must have had a very good relationship with your parents, that they trusted you to do that. Did you identify yourself as on a hero's quest in your life?
No. My hero's quest, I think, started much later, maybe about 2013, 14. I really felt on a hero's quest when I was diagnosed with cancer.
I did not know this.
So I've been on the spiritual path for 27 years. So that was about 8 years ago. And so 8 years ago. And so what happened was, at that point, I really needed a lot of courage. I needed every ounce of courage I could to even sometimes get up in the morning and do other things also, right? Not to give in to the defeatism, all of that, all of the things that go on in your head when you're having to battle cancer. And so, and at that point, I remember there is a saying in the Brahma Kumaris, right? If you take 1 step of courage, God will give you 1,000 steps of help. And I remember getting up some mornings and thinking, if I take half a step, then I will get 500 steps. If I take even 1/4 step, I will get 250 steps. But if I don't take any step, if I don't get up,
I love it.
I won't get anything. And so that's when I think that the whole idea of courage and being a hero, that's when it started.
So you had been involved with Brahma Kumaris for quite a while up until then. And then it's almost like you had a transformation. And of course, I didn't know any of this story. I had always thought that you were just always a high achiever, hero person,
Right. I never really think of myself as a hero, and I don't think of myself a hero now. But at that moment, I felt I had to surmount a few obstacles. But now when I look back, right, I feel, that was so easy. I don't remember, some people really identify themselves as cancer survivors and this and that. I don't think of myself that way. I feel like it was a line drawn on water and it's finished. It's over.
So would you consider that a high jump?
Yes. More than high jump. Okay, more than high jump. I would say that was a pole vault.
How about that? And that's quite a bit. And then you can even maintain the flight on that. when you say cancer, it reminds me of Sister Bhavna, who has left the body. And she has been kind of a connection for me, even wanting to, I thought of interviewing you, is kind of in the Brahma Kumaris, another, maybe you could substitute the word hero for all-rounder. And I think kind of an all-rounder is a hero in a way. And what made me think of this is I had come in and seen Bhavna's computer and was going through all her videos. And I came upon one in Peace Village. And there's maybe a line of people, maybe there are in line to talk to Sister Mohini or something of that nature. And you were amongst them. And she's just panning, kind of saving things for her own videos. And then there's one of you got up from what you were doing and you took a whole stack of chairs and moved them out of the way. And I said, that's what it is. See, that's what it is to be an all-rounder. And to me, that's what it is to be a hero. It's not the thing that everyone sees as being something great. It's seeing what the moment is and behaving in the accurate way for the moment. And just another term that we always use is perform every action as if you're on stage.
Right.
You know, well, see, now it's not only on stage, it's on video and it's recorded for all time. So
right. I would take that as a blessing. It's your vision. I was just
it is a blessing. It is. I caught you being an all-rounder, and so that's exactly what it is. And so everything we do is recorded. Everything we say is recorded. Every word, everything that we do is. And so I guess that's part of the hero's journey, is taking that accountability, that if not me, then who?
You know, you're really touching upon a very important concept in our journey in life, actually. You know, why did social media take off? There were so many concepts that came and went, but they didn't take off as much as social media, is because everyone wants to feel important. Everyone wants to feel that they're being seen. But actually, I think maybe it's gone too far. Like, who wants to see what you ate for lunch? But it's gone too far. But what happens is this feeling of when you do something worthwhile, when you do something elevated, when you do something transformative, it does matter. And it doesn't matter if people are recording it, you're posting it on social media, whatever it is, it does matter. And it matters to you, and you have to really go back and highlight that situation for yourself. And I also feel, you know, I mean, yesterday was Dadi Kumarka's, Dadi Kumarka was our, one of our founding members, and she was the leader of the Brahma Kumaris from 1969 to 2007. What happened, I was remembering her, and I was thinking it's important for us to remember these people, because nothing that is done in a transformation, nothing that is done in a transcendent state should really go unnoticed, because that is what life is. We have to notice these things.
It's so true. And of course, that I see that you've known this for quite a while, because one of those programs we had like last year during the pandemic of visiting with the ancestor souls from old days. And that's the feeling that I got. I got a feeling of being a part, of being there at that time, because I was able to see how it was at that time. And so it's really quite a service just to be an instrument to bring this information to people so they can more readily see it. They don't have to search through the library or anything like that. It comes right to us now. And it's really a wonderful thing, and we can continue to do this. In fact, we're doing it right now. You know, as humble as it is, our interaction, it's forever. It's recorded forever, you know. And so that makes me, instead of being scared of my actions, it makes me happy and assures me of how I want to behave in the future. It reminds me just from the Gita that when Krishna told Arjuna, perform every action to the best of your ability, but don't be attached to the results of that action.
Right.
And that's really all that we can ever do with anything. And each moment is so different.
Right. You know, that is a hero quality right there, is being detached from the outcome of an action. And if I ever saw a good hero, Arjuna was one, right?
I think that is the archetype for
really,
hero.
really
right
good
there.
hero. And that quality of being detached, actually that quality of listening to Krishna, you know, assimilating what was being said, everything, there's so many qualities he had that were really profoundly wonderful. This thing of being detached from the outcome, I feel that's the crux. If I am not detached from an outcome of the action, then I am not being a hero. I'm getting trapped. I am being trapped into, pretty much, I feel like you could say a villain, right? A spiritual villain. A villain in that greed, in that ego, in that arrogance. So if you see a regular villain, right, what do they have? They have all of these qualities. And a hero is someone who's transcending these qualities. And so if I am attached to an outcome of an action, that's what is happening, is I'm being just sucked into a lower space. And the other thing I wanted to mention about Arjuna is that his capacity for love for his mentor, Krishna, in this case. So on a hero's journey, you know, everyone has a mentor, and Krishna is his mentor. And how he paid attention to everything that was being said. And at the end, the last part of the Gita is Nashto Moha Smriti Labdha, which means, Nashto means destroying, and Moha is translated as attachment, but actually it's more like an illusion, my confusion, right? So I've destroyed my illusion, I've destroyed my confusion. So I don't have confusion anymore, and I've regained my memory. And so I feel every one of us is a hero, and we just have to see through the veil, see through these traps that are there, see through the deceptions that we have created for ourselves, and just regain our memory. Because it's all there in our memory, and all I have to do is regain that memory.
So it's not about really gaining anything at all. It's about removing what's impeding my vision of myself.
Yes, yes. And so, you know, when you brought up this thing of attachment to outcomes, that is it's one of the biggest veils that we put in front of ourselves. It's like the deception that comes from that, and we don't realize, you know, every desire we have, really, we are paying a price. Every, you know, material desire we have, we are paying a price. And sometimes if we really knew the worth of that desire, we wouldn't have it.
Oh, absolutely. And I, you know, as you say that, what's going through my body is that as you travel further and further on the path, it's even more important to check that the desires don't go away. They seem more glorious, because you could be intoxicated with your own hero-ness. And what I'm doing, and it's really just another thing to do. And so really I can only let go of the attachment when I'm already viscerally experiencing having. You know, I have to have something in order to not be attracted to it. If I'm lacking, no matter how much I try, somehow it's going to creep up that I'm going to want, because I'm not satisfied. So the key for me is, let me just go into my, like you said, my memory, of all that, not what I had, but that I am now.
Right, right. It's all in there, right? And we just have to let it percolate to the top. It's all in the soul. It's all in the soul.
So
It's not
as
gone
this,
anywhere. It's imperishable. The soul is imperishable.
so I'm always on it. So this path, it seems like when you say hero, it sounds glamorous, but is the path so glamorous as I begin to pick up all these things and I see in myself? What is your methodology for maintaining your equilibrium as you see the impediments in yourself that are keeping you from experiencing this fullness?
One of the deceptions is this media that puts these things in front of us, right? The pop culture deceptions, like things have to be glamorous, everyone has to fame, whatever it is, right? It's a very much a current pop culture concept.
Yes.
All of these things. And life doesn't work that way, even if 100 years ago, right? Who thought of fame? People didn't think of fames and things like that. They did what they were supposed to do. And so we cannot let this temporary things like glory or fame to really bring us down, because they're very tyrannical. And so I feel that what we have to learn to do is see past, not get influenced by the world around us. So I have to not get influenced by pop culture. I have to not get influenced by whatever is going on around me. And for that, I really have to stay grounded in my spirituality. I remember not this year, Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, but several years ago, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won Super Bowl. This was many, many years ago when I was first starting my spiritual path. And I have no clue about football, right? Don't watch it, don't care. But that night, I woke up because there were fireworks going on. And I woke up and I instinctively knew that the Bucs won the Super Bowl. And how did I know? Because of everyone was thinking that. Everyone was celebrating that. And, I was getting that message loud and clear, even though that was before internet so popular now. But that time it wasn't that popular. It was before all of that time, before, yes, iPhones and smartphones and stuff. And so how did I know that? And so even if we like it or don't like it, we are not islands. We are living in a community and we get influenced by things around us. So just like instinctively, I knew that Tampa Bay Bucs won the Super Bowl at that point. In the same way, the instinctively we carry what people want. So it might not be my desire, right? Fame might not be my desire. Glory might not be my desire, or adventure might not be my desire. But because everyone around me think it's cool, then I start thinking it's cool, because we are not islands, we keep absorbing these things. And so I feel that part of being a hero at this point is we have to go past this. We have to stop being influenced by everyone's desire around. It's okay. It doesn't have to be glorious. What they say in Buddhism, right? Chop wood, carry water before enlightenment. Yes. Have enlightenment, chop wood, carry water after enlightenment.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, you're Absolutely. A hero, but it matters because it's very underground. It's working underground. Everything you do is helping the world.
Well,
not in a glorious way.
That is the hero's journey right there. It's not until the last scene that the hero actually succeeds. It's underground the entire time and very unglamorous, and taking one setback after another it's not like living in utopia. That is the journey, and that's why we love it so. But it's not something that can be done in 2 hours. it's
Right.
your entire life.
Exactly.
And without being grounded, see, when I'm grounded, that also means I'm connected. And so I'm receiving the current of that which I'm grounded to. So if I'm grounded into spirituality, I'm grounded into truth, that's going to support me as I live, as storms of falsehood come flying at me from all directions. And will teach me how to move, when to face, when to run away, I do everything. But it's really important. I could see by what you're saying how important it is for me to remain grounded.
Right, and not get influenced by people around us. Okay, pop culture says this is cool. It's okay.
It's out there even for spiritual seekers who are making a big point of it. Now we're using the social media. We're using this as a form of communicating. So you have to remain relevant while not losing who you are.
Right, without getting sucked into it.
Sister, I think that we've chatted it out. I've got something out of it. So I know if I get something out of it, other people are getting something out of it too. Usually at this time, I ask who's ever our guest for that day, could you give us like a 3-minute meditation commentary that's kind of the basis of all this so that we can experience it?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let's take a deep breath. Breathing in and out. Relax your body. And while you're relaxing your body, connect to that still point within you. Every one of us has inside us a quiet space, a sanctuary. And all I have to do right now in this moment is find my way to that sanctuary. And by breathing, finding my true self, and just being very quiet from material desires, the path to that sanctuary becomes clear. And here you are, as a luminous being who is absolutely still and serene. And just be in this moment, in the presence of yourself. As long as you can. And if you're getting distracted, just visualize a luminous being of light. And find your path back to your inner sanctuary. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing a glimpse into your own personal journey with us. That's what's special about this little chit chat is it's easy. You know, sometimes when people think, oh, they're going to learn something, it's a different mindset. But a chit chat is very sweet and friendly. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I really appreciate being here with you.
Om Shanti.